Here's a short sequence designed to help maintain the health of your lower back. We'll predominantly be focusing on lengthening through the muscles of the hip, so thinking about the hamstrings, the quads, the inner thighs, the outer hip muscles, to relieve any tension here, which could potentially lead to misalignment of the pelvis, therefore leading to discomfort in the lower back. Also be looking at ways we can create some stability through the midsection of our body to help us support this. So we'll need a strap or a belt or a towel or a t-shirt or something along those lines. So we're going to start lying on our backs. We're going to take the strap or whatever you have just around the arch of the right foot. So you can either keep your left foot on the floor with the knee bent, or if it feels okay in the lower back, you can stretch the left leg along on the floor. We're going to take the strap in each hand. So depending on the tightness through your legs, how flexible you are, you might be down here, you might be a bit higher up. I want you to try and keep your leg nice and straight. I'm going to draw the shoulders down, keep the shoulders relaxed, and then nice and slowly just going to start to guide the leg up as far as you comfortably can until you feel a stretch. So I'm going to just wrap the strap around my hands a couple of times here, just to give me a little bit more space. So with my right foot, I'm gently pressing back into the strap as I gently guide the leg towards me with the hands on the belt. So I'm going to take 5 deep breaths here, just keeping the face relaxed. As I exhale, I'm breathing to the back of that right thigh, just allowing myself to settle and yield into that stretch. So just make sure the shoulders aren't creeping up to the ears. Keep them nice and relaxed and just breathe into the stretch. So as I said, you might be much further towards the floor. It doesn't matter where you are, just feel the stretch and breathe with it. Don't take it too deep, don't take it too far. Good, and then release the strap. Going to take the strap in the right hand only this time. Going to take the left hand and place it on top of your left thigh. And you're going to use that hand to thigh connection just to anchor that left side of the hip down towards the floor as we start to open the right leg out to the right side. It doesn't matter how far you go. I'm coming out to the side here. I'm going to prop my elbow down onto the floor. You might not get that far, you might get further, but see where you get to. And I'm resisting that left side lifting up. So I'm pressing down with my left hand, just anchoring the back of my pelvis down towards the floor. So again, a couple of nice deep breaths here. Just feel where you feel that stretch, maybe more towards the inner thigh this time. And breathe into it again. Just keeping the face relaxed, the shoulders soft. Let's take another deep breath. Good, and then when you're ready, you're going to slowly lift the leg up with a nice big inhale. Going to take the strap in the left hand, take the right arm out long to the side, and then ever so gently just guiding that leg over towards the left. Again, I'm trying to keep the back of my pelvis down on the floor, so I'm not going to go very far. So it might feel enough just coming over just a centimetre or two. Just see how that feels for you. And wherever you get to, taking some nice, deep, smooth, steady breath. So breathing through the nose. Just allowing the breath to be full and deep down into the tummy. Good, and then nice and slowly going to lift the leg up. Going to switch sides. We're going to take the left foot in the strap or whatever you have. The right leg can be long or knee bent with the foot on the floor, and then again nice and slowly just start to draw that leg in. You've got 2 hands on the strap to begin with, so shoulders are working down, pressing back a little bit, foot into the strap, and then breathing with it here. So just being aware of what you feel through that left leg. Take another couple of smooth deep breaths. And then when you're ready, we're just going to come off the stretch, take the strap in the left hand only. The right hand is going to anchor the right side of the body down and then opening out to the left side. Just coming to a comfortable place where you can hold that for a few breaths whilst keeping this right side of the pelvis down against the floor. And again, just feel where you feel that stretch. Notice what happens as the leg moves. Any discomfort, just bring it up a bit higher. Don't be in pain. Feel a stretch, but don't be feeling any discomfort. Another deep breath. And then nice and slowly guiding the leg back up, switching hands, left arm out wide to the side, and then just allowing that leg to just cross over towards the right side. So keeping back of the pelvis on that left side down to the floor again. So just notice what you feel. One side might feel a little more open than the other. And just breathe with it, whatever you notice. Good. Okay, nice and slowly, let's lift that leg back up. Bend the knee, release your strap. So bringing both feet down onto the floor, you can put your strap to one side now. We're going to cross the right leg over on top of the left leg, so as if you're sitting cross-legged in a chair. Then we're going to lift the legs up, so drawing the knees up in towards the chest. Flex both the feet and see if you can reach around and catch hold of the tops of the legs, the ankle, maybe the feet, or a little bit higher up the leg. Wherever you get to is fine. And then just gently guiding the feet down in the direction of the hips. So keep the shoulders working down and then start to resist. So press the legs back into the hands here. Keep the feet flexing and then just notice the back of your pelvis, lower back. See if you can press the back of the pelvis down into the floor, which creates a tiny lift through the lower back. So just feeling that stretch through the outer right hip as you breathe deeply. Again, just trying to keep everything nice and settled, nice and soft. Okay, and then you can release the hands, bring the feet back down, uncross, and then recross in the opposite way. So left leg on top of the right, draw the knees up in towards you. Take the hands around the tops of the ankles or the shins or the feet, flex the feet, gently guide the feet down towards the hips, and then create that resistance back into the hands. Shoulders relaxed, back of the pelvis anchoring down towards the floor, creating that tiny lift of the lumbar spine. So nice deep breath wherever you are. Slowly, deeply in and out through the nose. Just allowing yourself to settle into that feeling. Good, okay. And then releasing both feet down onto the floor. Now we're going to take the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop open wide. So you can bring the feet fairly close up towards your bottom or as close to as feels comfortable. Just resting the hands on the inner thighs. And then just gently rocking the knees from side to side. Just feeling that length through the inner thighs. So we're going to keep the left leg where it is, left hand on the inner thigh. Then we're going to start to lift the right knee up. So drawing the right knee up, kind of in the direction of the right armpit, and then straighten the lower leg so the sole of the foot faces the ceiling. So from here, you can either reach round with your right hand and take hold of the inside of your right heel, or you can take hold of the front of the shin with the hand, or you could use your belt around the foot and taking hold of the belt here. So wherever you are, actually I'm going to keep the belt there because that feels kind of nice. I'm going to start pulling down ever so lightly on the strap, just drawing the knee down and away from me, and then creating a little bit of resistance again with the foot back into the strap. And just allowing that left leg to be passive down on the floor. If it doesn't feel comfortable with your left leg, then you can prop a cushion or a block or something underneath that leg just to make it a little bit more comfortable. So breathing deeply here. Keep creating that resistance through the right foot and the hand or the strap. And then when you're ready, you can release whatever you have. Let's bring the soles of the feet back together and then lifting the left leg up. So the knee draws up in the direction of the armpit, sole of the foot up towards the ceiling, and then either inside of the heel with the left hand, the front of the shin, maybe the back of the thigh, or you can take your strap or your t-shirt, whatever you've got, around the foot, and then gently guiding the knee down and away as you resist back into the hand, back into the strap with your foot. So you're creating that two-way energy. Nice deep breath. So the right hand can rest on that inner right thigh of that leg that's still down on the floor. Smooth, steady breath. Good. And then when you're ready, you can release, let that go. If you're using a strap or a prop, get that out of the way. Draw the knees up into the chest and just rock yourself up to sitting. So same position, but sitting up, soles of the feet together, knees opening out wide in Baddha Konasana. So we're going to take the hands either around the tops of the feet or around the front of the ankles or the shins, sitting nice and tall, shoulders down, chest lifting, opening the knees out as wide as you comfortably can. And then nice and slowly, just start to angle your body forward until you hit that point of resistance. And then we're going to stop here and breathe. Slow, deep breaths, 3 or 4, in and out through the nose. So keep the shoulders pulling down and the chest lifting, as if you're lengthening forward with your heart. A little bit of squeeze together through the heel bones, opening the knees out wide. So take a couple of nice deep breaths more. And then as you breathe in, slowly lift yourself back up. And now we're going to make our way onto all fours. So flipping yourself round. So bringing your wrists underneath your shoulders, stacking your knees underneath your hips. Spread your fingers nice and wide and anchor down through the base of each finger and through the pad of each finger. Press the floor away. So we're going to get a little bit of work into stabilizing through the core now. So feeling the front ribs, I want you to draw them in, knitting them in towards you. Front of the core strong, so keeping that strength through the belly. So feel like your ribs and your hips are kind of moving towards each other. Good, nice big inhale. We're going to reach the right arm forward and the left leg back. We're going to maintain that position through the front of the body. So we're not going to let the belly drop down. We're going to keep knitting up through the front of the body. Next inhale, we're going to bring the hand and the knee down. And then as you exhale, feel that strength through the midsection as you switch over. So the left arm comes forward and the right leg goes back. So we're just going to switch between the two. So inhale, coming down with those. And then exhale, switching sides. So right arm, left leg, keeping the belly pulling in. Inhale, bring everything down. Exhale, nice and steady as you switch over. Again, inhale down, keeping the torso nice and steady, switching over. And again, inhale, come down. And then exhale, switch. Good. Inhale, bring that down. Take the knees nice and wide on the mat. Draw the toes towards each other. Dropping the hips back towards the heels as you stretch the arms forward, allowing the forehead to drop down towards the floor. So keep the arms nice and long. Feel the space and the length down the sides of the body. Just take a couple of deep breaths. Good, and then when you're ready, lift yourself back up onto all fours. So we're going to step the right foot forward in between our hands, coming into a low lunge position here. So lifting your torso up, I want you to feel like your hips are stacking above your back knee, so we're not dropping down low into the hips to begin with. We're staying up nice and high. And take the hands onto the waist and just feel your hip points lift up. So as if you're tucking under with your pelvis, so you're tilting your tailbone down and your hips are lifting up. At the same time, your front ribs are going to draw in and you're going to feel strong across the front of the body. So front of core nice and strong. Maintain all that. Press your back foot down into the floor and have the action of trying to pull your back foot forward. It's not going to go anywhere, but then you're going to start to feel that fire up through the front of your left hip and the front of that left thigh. So keep all that engagement through the front of the body, keep pressing down through the back foot, and then wiggle your front foot forward an inch or two, and then you can drop a little bit into the hips here, but keep pulling the front in, so you keep lifting the hips, keep shortening the front of the body. Back foot, back leg pressing down, feel it pulling forward. So you should feel a really good stretch on the hip flexors on that left side. Good, so let all that go, lift yourself up. So you can release all that tension now. We're going to take the hands onto the front of the knee, and now we're going to drop the hips forward and low, and then press the foot to come back up. So just going to do a few of those. So dropping down into the hips, and then lifting up. So exhale, dropping down. Inhale, lifting up. Another one, exhale. and inhale. We're going to change the angle of the front leg. So we're going to just toe heel the foot. So the foot and the knee are about 45 degrees out to the side. So my foot's come off the mat, so that's fine if yours does the same. So nice big inhale here. And then as you exhale, we're going to drop down, the knee tracking towards the foot. Inhale, lifting up. If you've got any discomfort in this bottom knee, you can stick a blanket or a cushion underneath there. So exhale, dropping down. Inhale, lifting up. Again, dropping down and lifting up. Let's do one more. Exhale and inhale, changing the angle again. So walking the leg out a little bit more. So you're almost at 90 degrees out to the side. So inhale here. Then again, exhale, you're going to drop down towards the knee. So you're just changing the angle of that stretch. So inhale, coming up. Exhale, sinking down. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do one more. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, inhale, lifting up. Bring the hands to the floor. Bring the right knee down. So switching sides. So left foot between the hands. And you can pad underneath that right knee if that doesn't feel comfortable for you just on the mat. So nice short lunge to begin with. So lifting the hips up, dropping the tailbone down, drawing the front ribs in. Feel short across the front of the body. Press down through the back foot, the back shin, and feel like you're trying to pull that back leg forward. And just feel that engagement through the front of your right hip. Then you can wiggle the front foot forward if you need a little bit more, and then start to drop the hips down just an inch, but keep that action of drawing up through the hips, pressing down and pulling forward through that back leg. So just be with that for a couple of breaths. Looks really easy, but it feels quite intense. Good, and then, come off that, let that go. Hands onto the front thigh. Now we're going to drop nice and low and forward into the hips. And then inhale to lift up. So a few of those. So dropping down and lifting up. Again, dropping down, lifting up. Let's do one more. And up. So we're going to change the angle of that front foot. So walking the foot out to about 45 degrees. So then bending the knee straight over the toe, dropping into the hips at a slightly different angle. So lifting up, bending the knee, coming up. Again, dropping the hips towards that front foot, lifting up, again, drop down, one more, and dropping down. Okay, just switching the angle of the leg again this time. So you're going to take the leg, so it's about 45 degrees out to the side, maybe a bit less, see how that feels. And again, we're going to bend the knee and drop down towards that hip, towards that front foot, lifting up, drop the hips towards the foot, lifting up, again, dropping down, lifting up, and dropping down. Good, lift yourselves up. Let's bring yourselves back onto all fours. So nice and slowly making your way down onto your belly. You're going to bring the left forearm down parallel to the top of the mat. You can rest your forehead on the back of the arm. So legs parallel behind you. So keep your knees and hips and ankles in the same line. Then we're going to lift the heel up towards the bum. Catch the top of the foot, or you can use a strap or a t-shirt here if you can't quite reach. Position of the pelvis, so you've got that feeling of lifting your hip points up, so you're pressing your pubic bone down into the floor as you draw the foot in towards your bum, just creating that length across the front of the thigh into your quad muscles here. So nice deep breath, keep firming out through that left leg, the long leg, breathing deeply here. If you want to go a little bit deeper, then that right foot flexes, just create a bit more space between the bum and the heel, and then you can draw it in a little more deeply. Good, take another couple of breaths. And then release that, switching sides. So bring your right forearm parallel to the top of the mat. You can rest the forehead on the back of the arm if you wish. And then lifting the left heel up towards your bum, reaching around to catch hold of whatever you can reach. You can use a strap again here. So that tucking under through the pelvis as you anchor your pubic bone down, as you draw the foot in towards the bum, creating that length through the front of the left thigh. So again, take a couple of nice deep breaths here. Maybe flexing the foot if you want it a little bit deeper. Smooth and steady. Good, one more. And then release that, 2 feet down onto the floor. We're going to stretch the arms back, bring the hands down beside the hips with the palms on the floor. We're going to lift the head, we're going to lift the chest, we're going to draw the shoulder blades down and together. Then we're going to lift the arms and the hands away from the floor, and then if you wish, lifting the feet up. Then start to squeeze the feet towards each other, just feeling that strength through the back of the body into locust pose. So a couple of breaths here. Just feel the glutes working strongly. Spinal muscles working. Smooth, deep breath if you can. And then nice and slowly bring everything back down. Okay, we're going to shift forward with the elbows coming underneath the shoulders, forearms down onto the floor. Press the floor away so you're lifting up through the chest. Shoulder blades drawing down the back. Legs working really strongly, so really firm and power up your thighs. Same thing with your pelvis, a slight feeling of tucking. So you're creating a little bit of length through the lower back, so you're not feeling jammed into the lower back here. So coming into a little bit of core work. So strongly press through the arms, tuck the chin in, and we're going to start to peel up through the front of the body. So you're going to lift the front ribs, suck them in, lift the belly, lift the hips, tuck through the pelvis, stay here with the knees down for a breath, then tuck the toes, and then lifting the knees away from the floor. Really work down through the forearms to the elbows. Shoulder blades are spreading. Belly is strong. Breath deep. Good. And then bring the knees to the floor. Bring the hips to the floor. Bring the belly to the floor. Lift through the head. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. And then sliding the hands back. Press yourself through into a brief child's pose. So hips shoot back towards the heels, arms lengthening forward. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. And then slowly walking yourself up and then spinning round onto your bum. We're going to come down onto our backs. So if you have a brick, you can place a brick in between your knees for this next position. I haven't got mine handy, so I'm not going to do that. So either bringing the knees and the ankles together with feet on the floor, or placing a brick between the knees and squeezing your knees either side of the brick. That's really useful just to create a bit of strength through the inner thigh muscles. If you don't have one like me, don't worry about it. So we're going to lift the feet from the floor, stacking the knees above the hips, and then lining the ankles up with the knees. You're going to lift the head, you're going to lift the shoulders, then you're going to stretch the arms forward towards the front of the mat, and then you're going to breathe deeply here for 5. So that's 4, that's 3, that's 2, 1 more, and then nice and slowly rolling all the way back down to the floor. Straighten both legs long on the mat. Bring the hands slightly wider than the mat with the palms turning up. Press down through the back of the head, lift through the shoulders, and then slide your shoulder blades down and bring the weight of the body back down to the floor. Let the eyes close. Take a nice big inhale through your nose and release it through your mouth. Again, inhaling through your nose, out through your mouth. Let the lips close. And just allow your body to be still and quiet just for a few moments. Allowing the muscles of the face to soften. Just feel the space between your eyebrows widening. Just releasing any tension in the jaw. Allowing the tongue to be soft in the mouth. Feel an openness to the chest and the throat. And then allowing the movement of the breath to travel through you. So noticing the rise and fall of your tummy. Width of the breath into the ribs. traveling back up into the chest. And as you exhale, just notice the whole body softening further. And just stay with that rhythm, movement of breath for a few more moments. And then beginning to deepen the breath again. As you breathe deeply, bring in some gentle movement back into the body. So wiggle the fingers and wiggle the toes. Circle the hands and circle the feet. And then as you breathe in, stretch the arms up overhead for full body stretch. And then as you exhale, drawing the knees up into the chest, just having a little squeeze, a little rock from side to side, maybe turning circles with the knees, massaging into your lower back. And then return the feet to the floor, roll yourself to one side, and there you can flicker the eyes open again if you haven't already. And then nice and slowly pressing all the way up. Thank you for practicing with me today.